The 1960s didn't just give us Woodstock and the moon landing. It delivered perhaps the most revolutionary decade in motorcycle history. A time when British legends faced fierce competition from manufacturers all over the globe, when motorcycles transformed from simple transportation into cultural icons. So grab your goggles and leather jacket as we rediscover 5 legendary motorcycles of the 1960s that changed the game forever. Got a favorite motorcycle memory from the 60s? Drop a comment below and let me know. First on our list is the Norton Commando, launched in 1968. Ask any rider from the era and they'll tell you, this wasn't just a motorcycle. It was British engineering at its finest. What made the Commando special wasn't just its looks, though that distinctive fastback design certainly turned heads. It was how Norton solved the age-old problem of vibration that plagued large displacement British twins. The Commando introduced a revolutionary isoelastic engine mounting system. Rather than bolting the engine directly to the frame, Norton suspended it on rubber mounts, isolating the vibration from the rider. The result? A smooth ride that competitors couldn't match. Powered by a 750 cubic centimeters air-cooled twin, the Commando delivered impressive performance, pushing nearly 60 horsepower to the rear wheel. That was serious muscle for 1968, making it capable of reaching speeds over 115 miles per hour. The press couldn't get enough of it. Motorcycle News named it Machine of the Year 5 years running, from 1968 through 1972. No other bike before or since has achieved such a streak. Next, we travel to Italy for a motorcycle that embodied mechanical artistry. The Ducati 350 Mark III, introduced in 1967. While Harley represented American muscle and Norton showcased British engineering, Ducati was all about Italian precision and sophistication. The 350 Mark III wasn't the biggest or the most powerful bike of its era, but it represented something special, a motorcycle built like a fine watch. The heart of this machine was Ducati's famous desmodromic valve system. Instead of using springs to close the valves, the Desmo system used cams to positively open and close each valve. This allowed for higher revs without valve float, a common problem in high-performance engines of the era. Engineered by the legendary Fabio Taglioni, the single-cylinder 350 cubic centimeters engine could rev higher than its competitors while maintaining reliability. It produced around 25 horsepower, impressive for a single cylinder of that displacement, and had a distinctive cadence that motorcycle enthusiasts can recognize by ear alone. The styling was distinctly Italian. Narrow tank, minimalist approach, with every component serving a purpose. There was nothing extraneous on this machine. The narrow frame and light weight made it incredibly nimble through corners, winning the hearts of riders who prized handling over brute power. Many remember that riding this Italian thoroughbred didn't just get you from point A to point B. It transformed the journey into an event. The 5-speed gearbox was precise. The narrow profile sliced through air, and that single-cylinder thumper provided a direct connection to the road unlike anything else. These weren't common sights on American roads, making them all the more special for those lucky enough to own one. If imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, then the Kawasaki W1 paid the highest compliment to British motorcycle of the era. Introduced in 1966, the W1 was Japan's answer to the dominant British twins, particularly the BSA A7. At first glance, you might mistake it for a BSA or Triumph. The 650 cubic centimeters air-cooled parallel twin, the styling, even the tank badges had a distinctly British feel. But this was no mere copy. It was Japan's interpretation of a classic formula, with their own engineering improvements. The W1 boasted a displacement of 624 cubic centimeters, making it the largest Japanese motorcycle of its time. This was Kawasaki's declaration that Japanese manufacturers could compete in the big leagues, foreshadowing their later dominance with models like the Z1. What made the W1 special wasn't just its size. It was built with Japanese attention to detail and reliability. While it maintained the character of a British twin, it addressed many of the reliability issues that plagued its European inspiration. Better electrical systems, improved oil circulation, and more precise manufacturing tolerances meant fewer oil leaks and more time on the road. The W1 wasn't just reliable, It was fast. With 50 horsepower on tap and a top speed approaching 115 miles per hour, it held its own against anything on the road. The 4-speed transmission and wet multi-plate clutch delivered power smoothly, while the double cradle frame provided stability at speed. The W1 represents a pivotal moment in motorcycle history, when Japanese manufacturers proved they could not only match but exceed the established European brands. It set the stage for the Japanese motorcycle revolution that would define the next decade. Few motorcycles are as instantly recognizable as a Moto Guzzi with its distinctive transverse V-twin engine. First introduced in 1967, the V7 represented Italian engineering, taking a completely different path from both British and Japanese designs. The most obvious feature was that 90-degree V-twin mounted transversely, meaning the cylinder stuck out from either side of the bike. This wasn't just for show. This configuration provided excellent cooling for both cylinders and created a longitudinal crankshaft that eliminated the torque reaction common to shaft-driven motorcycles. Speaking of shaft drive, while most competitors were still using chains, Moto Guzzi employed a clean, low-maintenance shaft to deliver power to the rear wheel. No chain tensioning, no messy lubrication, just smooth, reliable power transfer that could go thousands of miles without adjustment. When you fired up a V7, you felt something unique, a gentle rock to the right as the longitudinal crankshaft spun up to speed. It was a motorcycle with personality, a physical reminder of the mechanical marvel between your legs. The 703 cubic centimeters engine was designed for torque rather than high RPM horsepower. This made it ideal for touring, where relaxed riding and comfortable cruising were more important than stoplight-to-stoplight acceleration. The reliability and comfort of the V7 made it the choice of Italian police and military units, who needed motorcycles that could run all day without issue. This reputation for durability helped establish Moto Guzzi's credentials among serious motorcyclists. Riding a V7 was a different experience from its contemporaries. The low center of gravity made it stable at all speeds. The shaft drive eliminated the periodic chain maintenance that was part of motorcycle ownership, and that transverse engine provided a unique connection to machine. You could feel each power pulse through the handlebars. For American riders looking to stand out from the crowd, the Moto Guzzi offered European sophistication with a mechanical honesty that appealed to those who appreciated engineering excellence. The final motorcycle on our journey through the 1960s challenges many preconceptions about two-stroke engines. The Suzuki T500 Cobra, introduced in 1968, proved that two strokes weren't just for lightweight screamers. They could power serious road motorcycles. At a time when conventional wisdom said large displacement two-strokes would overheat or seize, Suzuki engineered a 500 cubic centimeters air-cooled two-stroke twin that was reliable enough for everyday use. This was no small feat. It required advanced port timing, precise oil injection, and extensive cooling fins to make it work. The payoff was impressive performance. The T500 produced 47 horsepower and could reach speeds of over 100 miles per hour, competitive with larger four-strokes of the era. But what really set it apart was the power delivery. Two-strokes provide their power in a rush rather than the progressive build of a four-stroke, giving the T500 an exciting character that appealed to thrill-seekers. Despite its performance potential, the T500 wasn't a nervous, twitchy machine. Suzuki gave it a relatively long wheelbase and stable geometry, making it suitable for touring as well as spirited riding. The 5-speed transmission helped keep the engine in its sweet spot, while the dual leading shoe front brake provided stopping power that was impressive for the era. An innovative feature was Suzuki's Posy Force lubrication system that precisely metered oil to critical engine components, eliminating the need to mix oil with fuel. This made the T500 as convenient to live with as a four-stroke, while maintaining the performance advantages of a two-stroke design. The T500 represented Japanese manufacturers' willingness to challenge convention and explore alternative engineering solutions. While most two-strokes eventually disappeared due to emissions regulations, the T500 remains a testament to Suzuki's engineering prowess during this innovative era. These bikes weren't just modes of transportation. They were expressions of personal freedom, engineering excellence, and cultural identity. They connected riders to the road in a way that's increasingly rare in our digital age. Whether you own one of these classics in your youth or you're discovering them for the first time, these motorcycles represent a golden age of mechanical diversity before global homogenization. What's your favorite motorcycle from the 1960s? Do you have memories of riding any of these legends? Share your stories in the comments below. Until next time, keep on riding.